Hanging with her.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hangin' with Her. This is a time where I hang out and have some candid conversations with some of my valued friends. And today I'm welcoming a 15-year Major League veteran from Major League Baseball, a two-time All-Star. He also made history by becoming the first switch hitter to collect 100 hits from both sides of the plate in a season. Please welcome one of the best to ever do it, number one, Mr. Garry Templeton. Garry, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Herb. It's always good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey, man, you staying safe?
Yeah, I'm staying safe. I mean, me and the family, we're doing what we can to be safe in this day and age. So
Absolutely.
I don't go no place. I go play golf, but that's about it.
Oh, you're a golfer, huh? Well,
Oh yeah.
good. Well, I always start off by talking about us, how we know each other. And way back in the day in Santa Ana, came to know you just from playing basketball, being around coming from the area of Santa Ana, going on to play baseball. And but one thing that set you apart was when you played in the Sunset Little League and then went on to play and come back, and they renamed the league the Garry Templeton Little League. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up playing Sunset Little League. I never forget it. We had just moved. We've been in California maybe a year or two, and then we moved on Richland, right
Yes.
down the street, as you remember Richland. And so my dad just put us in the car and we were driving to go somewhere, and we seen these signs posted, sign up for Little League, and he asked who we wanted to play. So we ended up signing up and playing at Sunset. And then as the years went on, I was asked to, if I wanted they was going to change the name to Garry Templeton Little League. And so, that was a great honor, to have a Little League named after you in your own city. So, it was great and awesome. And then there was also some pretty good young players that came out of there.
Came out of there. Absolutely. There are some good athletes that come through the Santa Ana area, Orange County area, but the Santa Ana area down by Jerome Center sent out some good kids. Also, I started a sports. It's called Sports Fellowship. It was a church basketball and softball league. We played at the Jerome Center. We played at other different churches and everywhere. The churches from the Santa Ana area, Second Baptist, First Mission, Starlight, all those, we had a great fellowship time of playing basketball and softball together. And when I started that league, your sister-in-law, Rita Glenn, was one of my first persons that administrated and helped with all the paperwork and all the stuff to help me put that together. That's where me and her became great friends together. And she's an awesome worker. Boy, she can get some things done. Yeah. Also, I remember Gerald Young. Did he play in the Sunset League? But he came out of Santa Ana, I know.
Well, Gerald Young, yes. Gerald Young played at Sunset Little League.
Okay.
As you know, there was quite a few other guys that played. There was George Hill that played there. That got drafted by Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
And then you had, oh man, what's his name? Maddox.
Okay, yeah.
Maddox, he got signed by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
And then you also had my brother got signed by Oakland. Charlie Gibson got signed by Oakland. And believe it or not, there was this one kid named Whitey Myers. He came out of there. He played for Detroit. So there's a lot of names that people don't know or forgot about that came through that Sunset Little League and ended up being really good players. George Hill, I think, played in the Garry Templeton Little League.
Okay.
George, I think George did, because George is younger than, I think George is like 55, 56, somewhere in there.
So he could have came through there.
Yeah, he could have came through my league, but if not, it was probably still Sunset when he came through. But there was some talent that came through there. Like you said, Santa Ana you know, it had tremendous talent. And Gerald Young was, whew, what a
Yes.
talent he was. He was on the team with Maddox, and I think might have been 3 guys got drafted off that high school team. Maddox, Young, and I can't think of nobody. Oh, and I forgot, Reggie West came through there too. Reggie played
Okay.
with the Angels.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Reggie West played with the Angels. You know, there's some other names, but I might be forgetting them because, you know, they was a little way younger than me, but
Right.
I may
Right.
have forgotten them. But yeah, because Reggie played about 3 or 4 years in AAA with the Angels.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talk a little bit now about you. Give me your birth city. Talk a little bit about high school and college, until kind of a little bit the present about you.
Well, I was born in Lotney, Texas, and Lotney, Texas is outside of Lubbock, Texas. I think it's about 30, 40 minutes outside of Lubbock.
Okay.
But I was living in Odessa, and then my parents moved from Odessa, Texas to Santa Ana. And so, you know, I ended up going to Monte Vista Elementary,
Okay.
from Monte Vista, Smithly, and then Valley. Never
Okay.
went to college because I got drafted out of high school as a #1 pick.
Okay.
But I was fortunate to have played with some tremendous talent in the Santa Ana area growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, you know, I got so competitive and got good, because before me was some tremendous talent. And I got a chance to talk to those guys, play with them as a young kid. And by the time I got to high school, you know, I was kind of like a polished ball player, because, you know, a lot of people don't realize that what they should do is write a book about Santa Ana and the talent that was there. But
Right. That would be amazing writing.
yeah,
There's a lot of talent. Athletes and musicians and singers all came from that Santa Ana area there.
yeah, a lot of people don't realize it, but tons of some of the best musicians and singers right there in
Yes.
Santa Ana. And so, you know, it was a lot of fun times for me, because when I got to high school, like I said, you know, I was polished because I played with the older kids and they let me play and I learned. And then by the time I signed the pro contract and went on, you know, I signed in 1974 and I was in the big leagues in 1976.
Wow.
So, you know, I only spent, well, you could say 2 years, but technically it was like a year and something in the minor league. But, you know, and then the rest is history, where, you know, I went on for like 15 and a half years to play in the major leagues, and probably would have played longer if it wasn't for a knee injury that I suffered in high school.
Well, also, hey, I got some pictures that I want to bring up, and we'll talk a little bit about them. And you guide me through. I think that this first picture is. You tell me what that is.
Oh man, that's Sunset Little League right there. Wow.
Oh man, I found that picture, and is that you in the? You're not. Is that you right here in the plain clothes?
That's me in the plain clothes with. Wow, you got to send me that picture, man.
I will. I will. Is that Daryl? Is that Daryl Roberts back there?
Let me see. That's Billy Monster. God, I can't remember. You know, my vision is a little messed up now, but yeah, I know that's Billy Monster. That might be Daryl Roberts. And
it looks like him. I'm not sure. It could be, but yeah,
it probably is Daryl Roberts.
Huh?
It's probably Daryl, because
it looks like it.
Yeah.
And then here's some of your days with Ozzy, and your early days.
Yeah, those are some young pictures of me right there, man. Those are the young Garry Templetons right there that you're looking at right there. Yeah, that's a young Ozzy Smith too.
What age you think you were there around this time here?
Depends on the picture you're talking about. The picture with me and Ozzy, I was probably 25, 26.
Okay.
Say 26. and then the one with the Cardinal uniform down in my lower left. That's probably 21, 22. And the one with me and Tony Scott sitting there, that's got to be 22, 23.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. I was, all of these pictures right here, I was in my 20s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's some more.
Wow.
Yeah, here's some more. Just some base. Some of them are just the baseball pictures, baseball cards back there. Did you ever collect any baseball cards?
Man, I got every card that they've ever had on me right now. My wife, God bless her soul right now, she collected almost all the cards on me. So she got baggies full of cards that I have. So I got pretty much of everything.
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah.
Now this one, so the picture in the middle, that was me, you, and Gerald Young.
Gerald.
When this was at one of the Black History parades.
That's what I was just finna say.
Yeah.
That's a Black History parade. You got to send that one to me.
Okay, a Black History parade.
You got pictures of me that I don't even have. So what's up with that, man? Where you come up with these pictures? But I knew that was me and Jerry. I knew that was a Black History parade.
Yep, that was a Black History parade, but we had a great time at that. That was a big event all the time. Were you like the Grand Marshal that time? Have you ever been the Grand Marshal?
I think in this one right here, I think I might have been the Grand Marshal at this one, or it might have been the next one, because I think when me and Gerald Young was there together, God, I'm trying to think of that girl. Was her name Donna Marie? That played in oh man,
an actress?
Yeah, it was an actress, that lady.
I can't remember. I
think her name was something like Donna Marie. She played in The Heat of the Night.
Okay.
That guy's wife. I think that was her, and she was there with Todd Bridges.
Oh yeah, yes. Todd Bridges was there. You're right.
Todd Bridges was there. I think that lady's name was Donna Marie.
I remember.
I don't know. I might be messing it up, but
my kids.
Yeah, I remember that.
My kids got a picture with Todd Bridges that particular day. I remember now.
Yeah, because I think that was the second Black History parade in Santa Ana.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this was the second one.
Okay. Yeah, and this is where you were inducted
into the San Diego Hall of Fame.
San Diego Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about that day. Was that special?
Oh man, was it special? To have your family there.
Yeah.
And then had a ton of friends, and believe it or not, Herb, I mean, tons of people from Santa Ana came down.
Really?
To this event. Yes, there was tons of people. Santa Ana, they all came down for this event. You know, I got a chance to see David Shaw, his family.
Yes.
I mean, you know, David was down there. Shoot, man, it was so many people showed up for it. And then on top of that, my wife had it. I had a special pass to invite some family and friends, so we invited quite a few. We had Keith Denson there, Vernon Clark and his wife. Yeah, we had
a good time. Huh?
Mike Mercer. She invited Mike Mercer. So it was, you know, it was almost like a whole family affair, because there was so many people from Santa Ana showed up, and it was just a blessing. It was a blessing.
Beautiful. Let's this next one is some of your homeboys, some of your friends. These are Rick Walker there, and Alvin Aleman, and Daryl Roberts. I think this is one of the pictures that you were on one of the team, the Valley team.
Yeah, that's because Myron White's in that picture.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Myron White right next to me.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's
That's Myron White right there next to me.
You remember the day?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, man, because these, you know, Big Rick, I grew up playing Little League and everything with Big Rick, and and he went on to get a couple of Super Bowl rings and go out there and knock some people around as a member of the Hawks.
He was a member of the Fun Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was part of all of it.
Yes,
and
he was.
I put this one picture down here in the middle with the bugs. You remember they had the Volkswagen bugs all painted up. Everybody had nice bugs back in the day.
I think you're talking about when the ones that was painted up and stuff, they were called the creeping wagons. That was the name of that group.
Okay.
They had the creeping wagons for, God, I think they was together 5, 6, 7 years, man.
Yeah, they was nice.
And everybody had them nice Volkswagens. They was called the creeping wagons. I think Tommy Denson was the president of the creeping wagons because my brother was in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was really that was a really nice event. Now I got a little surprise here. Want to share with you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Herb, I'm glad to be back on your program, and especially to greet the best that ever did it. Terrible T, Garry Templeton. Hey, Garry, man, so proud of you. I could never really strike you out. You're the only guy that got away back at Sunset Little League. And your father, man, what an impact he had on my life. And all of us that had the pleasure of playing for him. He was with the Dodgers, thank goodness. And he's had an impact that just has carried me throughout my entire sporting career. So, my friend, proud of you. You got 100 hits on both sides of the plate. One of the very few to ever do it. And I know you got a straw or toothpick in your mouth as we speak. Enjoy the show, man. Nothing but love for you and your family. And the Falcons, they fly high, man, at Sunset Little League, or let's call it Templeton Little League. Simply the best.
Hey. Rick is something else. He's the best, man.
Right.
Big Rick is the best,
Yeah, sir. Let me hold on.
I could never really strike.
Yeah. He was he went on to do some great things. He's doing great things even now in Washington. He's a big time announcer down there, has a great show. And I interviewed him as well, and he talked about you, and he made mention of what at the time of what your dad meant to him as a coach, and and then he wanted to say that to you. So I thought that was very, very special of him.
Yeah, it was special of him. My dad was big in the community, and anybody that was trying to do something for themselves, my dad would help them. He tried his best to try to help any of the kids, that needed the help or wanted to help. So I'm just thankful that he had an influence on a lot of the kids that was growing up that was right around my age, and he tried to do the best he could to help them out and give them good advice and stuff like that. So I'm just glad that everybody's proud of everybody that come out of Santa Ana that went on and did something and made themselves names known. So, like Big Rick, we was always proud of him, and that, to have Super Bowl rings, wow, that's pretty awesome,
And he never forgot home. I remember when I interviewed him, I talked about the times I was at Second Baptist, and we'd sing at a choir, and his choir, St. Paul, would be there, and he'd be in the choir, and him and Frankie would be in the choir singing, man. I mean, these guys came back to the community and gave back to the community. They just didn't leave it, after they got quit.
So, we all came back, because I remember when I signed, I was playing. I would come back and play basketball at Jerome Center the whole time.
Absolutely. Well, let's do some quick rapid fire questions. Okay. Number one, Tony Riggins. You know Tony Riggins?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you didn't know this, but Tony Riggins and I are cousins. Our grandmothers are parents, our sisters. Yeah. And so I talked to Tony all the time. I told him that I was going to be interviewing you. And he said, tell him that you talked to me, man. He said he loves the time he spent with you. He was with the Angels. Now he's the executive vice president with Major League Baseball. So,
Yeah, with Major League Baseball.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony's a great guy, man. I didn't know he knew anybody from Santa Ana. Now, he told me he was kin to the Ships. He didn't tell me he was kin to you.
No, me and him, our grandmothers are sisters, and so we both grew up in Indio. I went to Indio.
Right. Yeah, up there in India.
And then moved up. Yeah, then moved up to
so, because
yeah.
he knew some people in Santa Ana, and I used to laugh at him and stuff. Because every time I see him, I tell him I'm gonna whoop him. I'm gonna whoop you, boy. I'm gonna whoop you good.
Oh man! Hey, so
great guy though.
When did you start switch hitting?
When the Cardinals signed me, 18 years old.
And that's when you started?
Yeah, that's when I started.
Wow.
No, I started when I was 18.
Oh man, amazing. What's your favorite travel city?
Wow, my favorite travel city? Whoo! You know, to be honest with you, I had two of them.
Okay.
I liked Los Angeles. And Atlanta.
Okay.
Those were two real nice travel cities, you know. I mean, you know, LA was close to home. And Atlanta, you went to Atlanta, they had a lot of culture there, you know, back in the day, tons of culture, which I enjoyed going there. And a lot of black colleges, like 3 or 4 black colleges right downtown about where we lived, you know. So, you know, it was always real interesting to go there because there was a lot of culture, tons of it.
Absolutely. Hey, how about a teacher or coach that left an imprint on you?
Well, the imprint that he wasn't a teacher, but I could say he was a teacher, I would have to say was Mr. McKinney. When Mr. McKinney came and showed up to Valley, he started talking and telling all of the Afro-Americans, hey, you know, we need to get in these classrooms, we need to work hard, and we should strive to try to go to some college, get into college. And he actually, you know, put emphasis on that to all of the teachers at Valley. And I think that's what made a big impact on a lot of the Afro-Americans, you know, back then, because I even know that he made an impact on a lot of the Afro-American teachers by telling them they got to teach us better and get us into school, you know, get us into some colleges. Because I think by the time you came to Valley High School, they was shipping guys off to Southern and Grambling.
Absolutely.
A lot of the Afro-American kids was going to college. They wasn't just going to jobs. They was going to colleges. So that was Mr. McKinney was big influence, big.
You know, Mr. McKinney was a member of our church at Second Baptist. I saw him every Sunday. He had a great effect at the church as well. He's passed on, but he had a wonderful effect. Did you ever have contact with Johnny Williams?
Well, you know, I did, but you know, it's sad to say, me and Johnny kind of had a run-in when I was in school, and you know, Mr. McKinney kind of chastised him, and I don't think he's ever forgiven me for that.
Okay.
And you know,
I got you. So he was also, the reason I brought the name up is because he also goes to our. He was attending the church as well.
Right. But, he attended the church as well, and I was there when Mr. McKinney chastised him because at the time he was a counselor.
Oh, okay.
And I know that's the reason why I say that Mr. McKinney had a big influence on everybody's life because, you know, I think once Mr. McKinney chastised him, he became a whole different man. Yeah. And he really started to helping all of the Afro-Americans, you know, to get into school and stuff. So that's why I said, Mr. McKinney, if you talk to a lot of the people that are my age, they'll tell you, McKinney had a big influence on us, big influence.
Let me ask you this. The person I most want to be proud of me is?
I would have to say my mother and father, not just one person. I just wanted my mother and father to be proud of me, because you see them work so hard,
Right.
to try to get us things. Because back then, nobody had
Had
anything in
nothing.
Santa
No.
Ana. We all had the same thing, So, to be able to, do things for my parents, and make them happy, I would just, if they were proud of me, I'm satisfied.
Where do you feel the most at home or at peace?
Well, right now, probably on the golf course.
Okay.
I feel at home on the golf course and at peace because I have 4 hours of just going out there having fun and kicking it with the fellas. And, it's a little pressure because we play for a little money, but, we got to have some little side bets. But, it's so much fun. And when I go there, I get away from everything because you know what happened. And so, for me, that's a happy place. Right now, going to play golf is a happy place for me.
Okay, final question is, I want my legacy to be?
A great guy, a guy that was down to earth and, never changed and was himself all the time because, that's all I want people to look at me and say, hey, Garry never changed. He was always down to earth and treated everybody the same.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Garry, I want to thank you, man, for hanging with Herb today. And in closing, I always honor my parents, Lee and Cree. And I want to encourage everyone we ought to all unite and just give someone a smile. That's what I would want. And
right.
So with that, I will say Zikomo, which is thank you in Zambia.
Well, thank you. And you have a blessed rest of the day. And I appreciate you having me on.
Oh,
Go Santa Ana.
Go Santa Ana. It's good seeing you again, brother. Be blessed,
always.
Man.
You too.
Peace.
Hanging with her.